Hi everyone and welcome to EGX 2023. I'm James from Pass the Controller and I'm here to play as many games as physically possible and meet some very talented developers. Let's go and see what's going on. So to kick off the show, I began with two gaming icons, Super Mario in Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Sonic in Sonic Superstars. Both games are bringing something new to the table for long-established platforming franchises, and both inject a lot of color, a lot of music, a lot of sound into these 2D worlds and really bring them to life. I think fans of both franchises are going to have a good time with both of these releases.
Make Way is a fantastic party game, a spiritual successor to Micro Machines. There's a lot of sort of similarities to other games like Ultimate Chicken Horse and Mashed, but it's just a really fun game that is just getting people a bit rowdy. I think it's a mixture of the sort of co-op element of being able to build the track as you go along, as well as just the sort of hecticness of it all. The players can set up hazards, they have items, they can shoot at each other, they can choose to make things more difficult for themselves or easier for themselves, but I think the fact that the track is never the same at any point just makes it constantly different and fun and unique. I think the best part is the sort of the gameplay mechanic where you are constantly playing. If you fall off, you're going to be respawned at the next checkpoint. There's never any downtime when you're playing. It's just constant. And that kind of keeps people engaged and enjoying the game with their friends. I think as you kind of progress in the game, you unlock more items, you unlock more cars, you unlock more hazards, track pieces. I think it gives you more to use against the people you play against. My favorite hazard, the ice hazard that turns the track into ice is a crazy one. But yeah, it makes it very slippy.
I wanted to make a management game which was not hugely complicated, so one that you could sort of pick up if you've had a long busy day. You can come and still have that experience of a management game where you're in charge of things, running it all, but not make it be stressful and complicated and like taxing on the brain. So that was kind of it. And I mean, in terms of the setting, I tend to do lots of things in sci-fi because I like sci-fi, and I like pubs. I didn't want it to be completely glorifying, going boozing, but I suppose I sort of wanted it to just be like all just like a little bit of a kind of piss take, I suppose, of like I guess what I was sort of thinking of, like if you took British sort of drinking culture and if that survived all the way to a point where we've managed to colonize the stars, is sort of quite a funny idea. The fact that there are like guns which shoot drinks in people's hands and all this stuff, it's all meant to be a bit silly, so I think that's probably been my approach. Kind of the idea really is that like you're running one Friday night to entertain all the staff, so basically at the minute you sort of start off with one little room and you kind of decorate the room and you supply people with drinks in moderation, and so then basically what the game will become is that you can expand and sort of expand the bar, get into more areas, and then you can buy bots which are effectively kind of like stationary turrets which do the work of the bar, of like serving drinks, destroying trash, collecting money, that sort of thing. So how it will sort of progress is that it's almost got like sort of slightly like tower defense elements to it while being in this sort of management settings. I was like a few months ago kind of really struggling, the game was not fun at this point in time, and it was kind of stressful and it was all the things I didn't really want it to be, and so I was getting very down in the dumps about it. And then I went for a walk and I was sort of thinking like, because I guess I kind of thought I wouldn't want to play this game, which is kind of a depressing thought when you're the one making it. So initially, actually, what I thought was, wouldn't it be funny if it was a top-down game, but you actually had like a first-person rifle in your view? So that's what it was originally, which I sort of think maybe I needed to go back to. But so that was it, and it actually just suddenly changed the game, and it solved a whole load of other problems. Like back to the thing about the tone, it made it instantly stupid and lent into it being sci-fi and a bit different, and it just made it like funny, you know. It's just one of those little things like, oh, it's like funny that people are getting shot drinks and just catch them perfectly and then neck them and stuff like that. So I think that side of it really, like, it was such a small thing, you know. It took me like half a day to put it in the end, but it was more valuable than like 2 months of work prior to that. But you know, that's sort of the way it goes.
You will have to find your way when nothing is as it seems.
Is it just a mirage?
We did an awful lot of work on making sure that guards, for example, that they were actually looking in the direction they are looking, rather than sort of having this cone of vision, which is just huge, which I'm aware was a bit of an issue before in terms of stealth, which is problematic. So actually we did an awful lot of work on, you know, working on AI's blind spots and kind of their vision cones, but that also meant making sure that the animations that they use in those moments are the right animations, and not, you know, so they're not wandering off looking in different directions, and actually they can detect you if you're behind them, which is completely absurd, right? So a lot of kind of fixing and making sure that that was accurate, and the really positive thing about that actually is that we've got a much more solid stealth experience visually through animation, not just through the game, if you see what I mean. So you can sneak out around a corner, and if a guy is looking one way, you know he's looking that way, so you can take the risk, you can take that choice to sneak past him without him seeing you or hearing you.
I'm here at the Left Field Collection, checking out some of the extremely independent games at this year's show. Many of these titles have been developed by individual or small groups of developers over a series of years, and absolutely represent the passion that games development is all about. Some of the games that you'll see at the show this year include Croquet, which brings the lawn tennis game literally to life. You'll explore far-flung galaxies in Astral Protocol 2, and you'll meet Hermit and Pig, a unlikely duo who are on an adventure and exploration game generally about mushrooms. Let's see what else we can find. That's all we have time for from EGX this year. What was your highlight? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to follow for more updates from Pass the Controller. Bye! Finding a connection with the wider world after living out in the wilderness by themselves for a long time. Perfect.